Hello student. Now today we will start our class 9 history where we will discuss regarding the world history. Now our first chapter is French Revolution. Now this first chapter French Revolution will start with the Bourbon family. So before I begin this chapter, a short introduction I want to give regarding this chapter. So out here 14 July 1789, this date and year is most important. Okay, now during that time period the city of Paris was totally mashed up, as because new idea, new feeling, new thought was been developing. Now at everyone's mind revolution idea was stuck. Now, why this revolution idea was stuck in everyone's mind? As because they want to take revenge. Now, with whom they want to take revenge? They want to take revenge from the king, as it was monarchy rule. That is, what does it mean is that the king used to rule, and whatever he used to say or whatever he used to order, that is only correct. His decision was only correct, and his order used to be followed by the people. So while during this revolution, all the common people, they gathered at Bastille. Where did they gather? At Bastille, where there was a fortress prison was it, that is, whom king had given punishment. They used to be kept in the Bastille prison, and once they were put in that prison, they were not allowed to come out without the king permission. So the people or common people, they attacked this fort of Bastille, and whoever were there in the prison, they had released them all. Now, and when they have released them all, they have demolished this fort also. And the most interesting thing was that whatever sovereign was there in that fort, they have sold it in the market. Why? As it to mark the process of progress, and to make it as a memorial and liberalizations process of progress of the people. So out here, one more interesting important thing is that during this, when the people were engaged in huge revolt, what we have seen they have developed a revolutionary idea got excavated, and this idea has led to the uh, idea of liberty, equality and fraternity in the mind of the people. Now out here a question arises, why the people were not liking the king? What was the reason behind that? What led it to take revolt? What happened during the revolution time? What revolt occurs? What was that? We will discuss in detail. Okay children, now we will start our first chapter, that is French Revolution, and now we will start in details the explanation of the chapter. Now student, will start our first chapter, that is chapter 1, in detail explanation. The topic is the French Revolution. Now this French Revolution will start with the Bourbon family. This Bourbon family had a king named Louis XVI, and he has ascended the throne of France in 1774. That is, in 1774, Louis XVI became the king of France, and at the age of 20, he got married with an Austrian princess named Marie Antoinette. When he came to the throne, he found that the French treasury was empty. Now, as he was young, when he came to the throne, he tried to learn and want to do new things and help the people. There he found that his forefather, that is his ancestor, they have emptied the treasury. So what was the reason that has made the treasury empty of France? The reason was, first one, the long-term war, that is his ancestors were engaged in long-term war. So for the maintenance of the army equipment, they have spent a huge money in the war. Second point was here, 13 American colonies. These 13 American colonies were under the control of Britain, and these 13 American colonies want to get independent while fighting with Britain. And during that time, Louis XVI was capable to help these 13 colonies, and he helped the colonies, and while helping it out, he had spent all his wealth, or we can say treasury, out there. Now, third point was our Palace of Versailles. Now, at Versailles, there was a palace, and for the maintenance of the palace, what was required? Money. So, that is, the Louis XVI has spent money for the maintenance of the palace. When all his treasury was empty, he had taken loan from moneylender, and as they know that the treasury was empty, they had taken the benefit of it, and they asked him to give the loan at 10% interest. Now, Louis XVI was bound to take this loan, so out here also he got stuck. Why he has taken the loan? For the maintenance of the cost of expense. So for that he was bound to take the loan, and out here also he got stuck. So this was the reason which led the Louis XVI to be in a great problem, and the treasury of France got empty. Louis XVI, having monarchy feeling, did not want anyone to succeed the throne. Now, as he need to increase the revenue to meet his regular expense, such as cost of maintaining army, court, government office, etc. But he was in great problem. How to increase the revenue? If revenue will not increase, his kingship will not continue. So all this were basically leading to revolution in France, that was leading to liberalization among the people in the France. So this was all the reason that led to the development of the revolutionary idea in the mind of the people. Now, during Louis XVI, in French society, there was the state system. So what was there? There was a state system. The French society during the late 18th century were, during that time period, the society was having the state system, and that state was also divided into three parts. That was the first state, second state, third state. Now, the first state comprised of clergy. This clergy, that is the people of church, priest or bishop. Second state comprised of nobility. Now, third state was again divided into three parts, that is merchant, lawyer, doctor, big businessman. The first, second, peasant and artisan. Third, small peasant, landless, labor, and servant. This was a division of the society of the France during the late 18th century. Now, this first and second state, they were enjoying privileges, certain privileges by birth. What was that privilege? The privileges was that they were exempted from paying any taxes. They were not paying any taxes. Now, the first and second state was having privileges, as they were not required to pay any taxes, whereas third state, they have to pay tax. That is, the whole and sole responsibility of paying taxes goes to the third state. So this was the figure of the society of France, which was divided into three parts, and on the basis of the state part, first and second state enjoyed the certain privileges by birth, and third state, they were the sole responsibility, having the sole responsibility to pay the taxes. Now, in this third state also, we have seen that there was a businessman, merchant, teacher, lawyer, doctor who were educated and were gaining power, and they tried to raise their voice for their rights. But now there was a kind of shift as was formed, which later raise or lead to revolution out there. So this was the reason creating the problem in the France society among the common people. Only they have to pay the taxes. As the third state, were not having their own land, and the population was about 90%, that is of the third estate. So it was having a huge burden on the third estate to pay the taxes. So this was also one of the point to revolt against the French kingdom, that is against the King Louis XVI. So third estate were paying some taxes. What were the taxes we will discuss in the next class. Okay, thank you.